Hey everyone, welcome to Massachusetts Sports Central. We are continuing with our NFL division previews. In this video, we are going to be talking about the NFC North. So, as we've been doing, we're going to go from worst to first. So, coming in last place, number 4, the Chicago Bears. So I don't think they're going to be very good at all. I think that they are actually worse than the 3-13 team from last year. I didn't like the Mitch Trubisky move. Certainly didn't think that there was any need for them to make the trade that they did. I did think that Mitch would have still been there. I don't think anybody else was trading up to get him. So I think that even if he turns out to be a good quarterback in the end, it was a needless trade. But, if he turns out to be like a star quarterback, then nobody's really going to care that they gave up a couple of extra minor picks to get him. Anyway, so looking at their record, I don't just think they're going to be bad. I think they're going to be really bad. 1-15 is what I have them at. Only win I have for them is home against Cleveland in their in Week 16, their 15th game. So they're going to start. So I have them starting off 0-14 before they get a win finally. And frankly, looking at the schedule, I think that they're bad. So I'm looking, and I don't see the other possible wins. The only other wins I see as possible. San Francisco at home, but I think San Francisco is going to be a bit better this year, and at Cincinnati. If you've watched our AFC North video, you know that I think Cincinnati is going to be quite bad this year as well, but it's on the road, so I did pick against them there. Other than that, I don't see anything, so maybe they finish 3-13, but I think that is pretty much their ceiling. All right, moving on. Number 3, the Detroit Lions. So they finished second last year and were leading the division most of the time. They had a 9-7 record then, and I'm picking them to have 9-7 again. So as you can see, very top heavy in the division. You have the Bears, and then you're going to have 3 teams that are at least, in my opinion, are going to have winning records. So they're going to start off okay. I have them basically alternating wins and losses to start the season. Then they hit a little bit of a rough patch, then finish very strong. As you see in the second half there, I have them going 6-2. Again, the games I have them losing, you would probably look at, you would say they probably would. Maybe they would pull off that road game in Baltimore, but that's, that's pretty much the only one that I could see as being, somewhat debatable at this point if you're looking at better teams. And maybe the at New Orleans, but that one's in my mind is a little bit closer. So let's see. Again, if you look at the wins, I did pick them to beat. Excuse me, I did pick them to beat Atlanta, but it was a home game. That's a little bit of an upset, I think. I do think Atlanta's going to be really good this year. So that's one there. Obviously, depending on how strongly you think of the other teams in the division, the fact that I have them splitting with both Minnesota and Green Bay. If you think one of those teams is superior, far superior, then, you're going to disagree with that. Anyway. So that's Detroit. Moving on. Number 2, I have the Minnesota Vikings at 10-6. So, so I have them one game better than Detroit. And again, kind of look at, they're going to actually start. So a little bit different than Detroit, where they actually got off to a little bit of a slow start. Vikings are going to get off to a rip-roaring start, in my opinion. So through their bye week, which is week 9, so their first 8 games, perfect split of the season there. I have them going 7-1. So I have them losing at Pittsburgh as their only loss. And if you look at the schedule, like most of those games, they got a pretty easy draw to start off. They do have Detroit, who I think is going to be pretty good, but that's their home game. They're going to be playing Tampa, who I think is a good team, but they got them at home. So again, that's favorable. They are playing Green Bay in that stretch, but again, it's the home game. So I have them splitting with Green Bay, winning the home one. But in the second half, they're going to have a much harder time. I have them only winning 3 games then. And again, so basically I have them splitting with the 2 other decent teams in the division, and both of them they're on the road that time. I have them losing at Atlanta. I don't think that's a controversial pick right there. The only games I have them losing are 3 home games against the Rams, who are bad, the Bengals, who are bad, and the Bears, who are bad. So finishing 10-6. So then that leaves us with number 1, the Green Bay Packers. I'm actually not super high on the Packers. I do think they are probably the best team in the division, but I only have them at 11-5. So the 3 top teams are bunched very close, and pretty much, you're going to say that the division is really not going to be over until the last week or 2 of the season, especially because they actually play each other. So if you notice, Green Bay plays Minnesota at home in week 16, and then are at Detroit in week 17. So the one or both of those games could be very important to deciding the division. So again, looking at the games, I have picked them to lose: at Atlanta, at Minnesota, at Pittsburgh, Tampa at home. That might be, especially given it's kind of late in the season, that might be a little controversial. And then at Detroit. So that's the only one. Those are the only games I have them losing. I have them beating Seattle. That is a home game. I do have them beating Dallas at Dallas. This is assuming that the Ezekiel Elliott suspension gets upheld. At this moment, it has been upheld, but he is going to play in week 1, which basically just shifts everything one week. If he gets his injunction, he plays the whole time. That could change things. This was one of the games so one reason that been holding off putting out these predictions is with some of the stuff that's going on, some of these things would change my picks. I decided that I think I was still going to take Green Bay with or without Zeke. It's just going to be a little closer if that's the case. All right. So anyway. So that's the NFC North, pretty competitive. I do have Green Bay winning again, but really could see any of those 3 teams taking it. So I could see a complete reversal of that order. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and share the videos, and subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on other social media. Facebook and Twitter are both at MA Sports Central. Thanks, and we will see you soon.